Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today on Overwatch, it's going to be a game between Jaedong and Stork for your Patreon cast for the week of November the 14th. Thank you very much if you're watching this in the month of November for supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month. I really appreciate it, and let's go ahead and get right on into it here. Top left is the brown Protoss player. It is Stork. And in the bottom right, it is Jaedong. I believe this is a 2019 replay supplied to me by RJB. Again, if you like fastest map stuff, RJB is going to be your best source for it. Just search RJB TV, and you will find him. And tell him that Falcon sent you. I don't like Flash is watching this actions here. Rush is present. I don't know. I don't know why a million people are watching this, but we're going to... APMs are sufficiently high that we believe these are the players. Plus the people watching. If these were fakes, we wouldn't have this crew here, right? Right. Alright, so ZVP at the gosh darn highest level we're ever going to get it here. Thanks again for just checking out the channel. Leave a subscribe if you haven't already. We're at 50,000, man. Let's go ahead and get this to 100,000, shall we? I believe we can. Are there enough Brood War fans in the world today to make this happen? I think there are. Brood War endures, man. It's a 20-year-old game, but ASL is as strong as it's ever been. And that's incredible. Like, what other games are 20 years old that have this kind of a following for its competitive scene? I can't think of any. I honestly cannot think of any that reach that. Oh, ridiculous. Ridiculous stuff here. Oh, interesting hatch. Getting set up. Not taking... Well, actually, hold up. On this map, is that your natural? No. This is weird. Like, he's trying to make Stork think it's a one-base play, but at the same time, there's no pool yet. So it's not like Stork's going to show up and go, ah, yes, obviously a one-base play where there's no spawning pool. That sounds like Jaedong to me. Anyway, so he's going to see the late timing on the hatch and say, oh... See, he wants to make sure the scout doesn't come in, because the scout's going to recognize that there's not a pool, and that was not a pool first hatch timing, as it seemed to be. It was sneaky times. Very sneaky out of Jaedong here. Now, let's see. It's right here. Natural base there. And actually taking a hatch before the pool. So, greed! It's so much greed from Jaedong. Oh, responding to it with a bit of a... It's not a fake cannon rush, because Stork can definitely toss up cannons here. He's got a forge. That's what the forge fast expand allows you to do. It allows you to defend and also allows you to be aggressive on the other side here. Yeah, man, if a cannon gets plopped... Alright, canceled. Little bit of a fake out there from Stork just to throw some fear of Protoss into Jaedong here. We can roll with it. We can roll with it for sure. Now, Stork, the great Protoss hope, right? Everybody loves Stork. He is such a great player, and check this out. Sees it and says, ah, very sneaky. You already have a third base, which again, based on the Nexus timing, just puts Jaedong on equal footing, honestly. Like, it doesn't put him crazy ahead, because look how fast this Nexus is. Look at this probe count, right? We're looking at 20 probes to 16 drones. It's not like Jaedong's been able to get up a massive worker count here at all. What is that? Man, sometimes if you are looking at a pylon when it gets tossed up and then move away, it makes it sound like it's still in your field of vision when it is not. Anywho, Zealot trying to do some stuff. It's like, all right, Jaedong, if you just want to drone up, I'm going to make you make some Zerglings at least. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, get out of there. Get on out. This probe comes in for the scout too. Metabolic boost on the way, but that's about it. Just a Hydralisk den. No lair timing here, so it's going to be Hydra to deal with the you cannot skip them Corsairs. Lings are trying to jump in here and actually skimping a bit. Stork did not throw up a cannon until now, which means these probes have to lose some mining time, but the Jaedong Zerglings are not getting inside the house. Although there are more Lings coming in, and they're going to have speed soon, so I think maybe we're going to get some Jaedong Lings inside the house. And Jaedong Lings do not leave the house when they've gotten inside the house. I don't know about killing this Zealot. Like, I think the priority honestly should be to get up inside the main, right? I think the Zealot's going to live anyway. Man, that run by potential, though. I didn't even go for it. Like, I think he could have got it. I really do. He's trying now, but yeah, look how many probes are here now. There were no probes here that first time. Now there's a Dragoon too. Overlord kind of poking in to see what's what. The Overlord actually see the... Must have. I don't see any other reason for that Overlord to leave other than he saw a Stargate and had his very strong suspicions confirmed. Anyway, Hydras are already in production, so should be okay if you're an Overlord close to home. If you are an Overlord here, for example, you might have a worse time of it. But see, Hydras are coming out. Mobile support units going to come out and try to make sure these Overlords don't die to the Corsairs that have arrived. El arrive. Blah, 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 blah. And see, the Hydras show up, and it's like, get out of here. This Overlord is supplying us with very important mind control, which is weird when you think about it. Anyway, there's a Templar Archives on the way, but by golly, it's not done yet. Do we have speed for Zealots? I don't think we do. There's only 2 Zealots anyway. Dude, this Hydra timing is sick. This is Jaedong cutting workers too. He's at 23 drones to 33 probes, and he can probably take down this Forge. I gotta say, scooch up a little bit. Ugh. Scooch, the scooching, a lot of scooching. Corsair not really having the greatest of days. Has no kills whatsoever. Got perfect scout off. Like, that's the thing about being a Zerg player is you can't hide stuff. You have no hope to hide stuff unless you can kill this Corsair with early Scourge. This Corsair is going to scout everything you're doing. It's not about hiding what you're doing. As Day9 said in his Day9 Daily 100, range finished up. That's what he was waiting for. Now he's going to jump on this stuff. Cannon down. Zealot down. Too many cannons. 4 cannons is a lot. Like, Stork is investing a bunch into this. Yeah, it's not about tricking your opponent, right? It's not about showing up with stuff they never saw coming. It's about doing things that your opponent knows you're doing and being unable to stop it because you executed it so well. That is how you win StarCraft games in the long term. You cannot sneak and trick your way to the level Jaedong and Stork are at. 4th base coming up. Dude, Jaedong has this game under control. I was expecting maybe some more trouble for him. He has, on the channel, shown a bunch of trouble, honestly, against Protoss. Like, I think most of the Jaedong games that I've casted him against Protoss on the channel have been losses, which is weird. It's not like all of them have been, but I'd say it's not 50-50 split. I'd say a little bit leaning towards losses. And it's, most of the time it's because he hasn't successfully transitioned, and there's the Storm, successfully transitioned away from his, like, Ultra Ling stuff when there's a million Archons out and back into Hydralisks. He gets away from the Hydras because they're not needed and then isn't willing to go back. But those are for the longer macro games that get into like super duper late game, and we're not there yet. He's just trying to win with Hydras, as most Zerg players are doing today. Another strange thing is, like, of the 3 legends, right? Flash, Bisu, Jaedong. Obviously, there's other players like I Love OV and Boxer and stuff, but Flash and Bisu have some of the gosh darn highest view counts of anything on my channel. Jaedong doesn't. Like, Jaedong casts are like, they're regular casts. Like, a cast I do of Artosis gets the same number of views as when I'm doing of Jaedong. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Are there just not many Jaedong fans out there? Like, where are you Zerg players? I don't understand it. There's a whole playlist for Jaedong, I guess. That'll help. If you're interested in finding all the Jaedong games on the channel, then by golly, just search the Jaedong playlist. This poor DT. He escapes. He escaped. He's out. He's free. But also, he's been detected, and Jaedong knows that he's here. Yeah, 7 Hydras at a time. Jaedong is just going the Hydra strategy, which really seems to be pretty good against Protoss these days. I have seen games where Protoss seem entirely helpless against the onslaught of Hydras, man. With some lurkers, too. Just containing like this and not allowing the Protoss to really get a 3rd base going at all. We'll see what Stork has up his sleeve. It's going to be Storm. That's how we roll here. And especially if the Hydras are on hold position, Storm's really good. Another Archon summoning in. Overlord dead. DT trying to make sure there's not like a 5th base coming up on that right side, but I don't think there is. He'd have a kill. Action left. He's seen enough. He's like, well, this game's over. It's 102 to 87 supply. Stork has a lead, but right about now, 10, 11, 12 minute mark is where Jaedong, if he's going to win, is going to have a giant swell in overall supply. The Zealot attack seems a little bit late, but it's working. Man, I really like that Jaedong could hold this with just Hydras. He didn't have to make Sunkens here to keep it alive. Right? That's massive. That is so big. If you don't have to sacrifice drones in the oncoming Zealot attack, and you just have Hydras that can be used on offense, that's a good time. Yeah, this army is a bit of a problem. Actually, the Archon, not so much. The Zealots buffering for the Archons is a massive deal, though. And suddenly, this little attack is accomplishing a lot. Reinforcements are coming in. That Archon is dead. This Archon is probably dead. Look at him doing damage against these eggs, though. Not a bad answer to egg blocks. And the Zealots jump back into the 4th. Ah, Stork, you genius! No! The drones! Okay. Drones transferring through an active war zone. That attack at the natural base is cleaned up. The main base here, too. Some Hydras trying to show up, but it takes godlike micro to take down this many Zealots with 3 Hydras, man. It does. You need to outnumber them pretty substantially. I don't think we're saving the hatch. Dude, look at this. So remember when I was like, it's so cool that you can hold off against these Zealot attacks with just Hydras. No. It turns out it's a lot harder if Stork's attacking both places, like 2 locations at once. It's hard. That's a lot of dead Zealots, though, man. Like, resources lost here have not got to be happy for Stork at all. Do this Lurker just trying to burrow in places. I thought for sure the Hydras are in this general vicinity and didn't shut this base down. I think they were too focused on trying to get into the natural base and maybe a little bit focused on defending his own natural base. That was big. Like, Stork was able to get his 3rd base up and kill the 4th base of Jaedong pretty much at the same time. The problem is, it's, you know, still Stork has a bit of a lead here at 12 minutes. But that is a lot of Hydras and only, 3 High Templar on a ramp might actually be enough. Might actually be enough to hold this. He's like, well, maybe there'll be, at least there's not a ramp I have to go up here at the natural. This is so gosh darn intimidating right now. Like, Stork's got to be like, this is not great. I don't like having a giant Zerg army outside my front door. And nobody really wants anybody's army outside their front door, so I guess that's too general of a statement to make. But Queen's Nest coming in, really droning hard, Jaedong. He's back up to 53 drones. His 4th base is, look at that timing. Look at this drone timing. He sends them way over to this bottom left corner and perfectly timed. Except for this dude, who he catches and brings back. Jaedong, you're such a boss. You're so good at this game. I want to be like you when I grow up. I guess some Zealots made it in here and attacked the Spire for a good minute. That's exciting. Lurkers are not paying for themselves here. It's been like 1 or 2 at a time, and no, it's not going to work against Protoss. If you're going to try to deal with Protoss with Lurkers, you need like 6 or 7 at a time. This is suddenly looking a little bit dicey. Stork's at 133 supply to 111 supply for Jaedong. Yeah, Stork getting on 3 bases was a big frigging deal. 9 Lurkers. Okay, so 9 Lurkers at a time in production. I like that a lot. And finally getting his first static defense here at the natural base. A single sunken at the natural. Adding some Lings into the mix, because it's not a lot of Archons. And by that I mean there are 0 Archons here. And the Lings can be really good. Oh, it's a free High Templar. Maybe not a free High Templar. Oh, okay, well, sneaky attempt at a 4th. Jaedong has some Zerg sense, man. He just shuts that down hardcore. That is frustrating stuff. Okay, so we've got Sunkens at this 4th base. We've got Lurkers spread out, so one storm can't hit multiple Lurkers at a time. Maybe that's too entrenched, says Stork. That porridge is too hot, he says. I'm going to come down and see what I can do at this 3rd base, which also has Lurkers and also has Sunken. This is a very intimidatingly large Protoss army. It's like, well, maybe the natural base is easier pickings, he says. I like it that he's not wasting his time, like, attacking into a really entrenched Zerg spot. Seems smart. Oh, these reinforcements coming in, not having a great time of it. That High Templar is dead. By that I mean that High Templar is dead. There we go. I think that was 3 High Templars dying is what that sound was. Alright, so this Storm leads the charge. Killing the lurkers. Killing them Hydralisks. Attempted to get a 4th base over here, which there's a blue blob heading over to murder. But also, some of them are maybe trying to murder it, but also some of them are getting a flank. I don't know if there's enough on the right side for this to be a flank. I'm looking at it. Alright, so the left side is dead, is the problem here, which means the left side can be used to retreat from right now. There are, like, honestly, units right the heck here that could have jumped on this and forced to cancel. Jaedong did not know that was coming up right then. Retreat to safety. Retreat to safety within your 4th base. Okay, but now Stork has 4 bases. Jaedong! You can do it, Jaedong! 139 to 108 supply is not good for Jaedong, though, at all. Defiler Mound on the way. It's a great equalizer. A great plague on this army will help immensely. Like, super, super well in future engagements, but he is so far away from plague, it might as well not exist at the moment. It'll feel like it exists later. Dude, this denial of this base up over here has been pretty consistently good. I don't know what that High Templar is doing, but he's... Oh my gosh, he escapes with 12 HP. Wow. Are these 2-1 upgrades? Zerglings don't have any attack upgrades at all. Okay, so this is a problem right now. This is a desperate attempt at a hold from Jaedong. Got lurkers down, but there are detection modules here, and all the lurkers are going to die because there's no Dark Swarm. And Zealots are just kind of wandering around killing drones here in the 3rd base, or technically the 2nd base, but you know what I'm talking about down here. Trying to snipe the observers, but there's 3 observers here. You can't kill them fast enough. 131 to 84 supply. I think Stork might have just done this with gateway units. It's Zealots, Dragoons, and High Templar, man. Who needs anything else? Who needs a Robo? Well, I mean, who needs Reavers, I guess would be the better answer, because he has a Robo for observers. You know what I'm talking about. A couple Archons here, too. And just patience. It's up 50 supplies. Made some really nice trades today. Lurker Steve is running for his life. He's got all of 1 kill, just not accomplishing a whole lot. And yeah, this 4th base is up and harvesting, and this is bad. This is so bad for Jaedong. Man, we've seen games where he just makes Protoss look silly, but Stork is not interested in being one of those today. Yeah, nope. This might just be an A-move scenario. I'm not even sure if you need Storm here. I mean, the Storm might actually be harming your DTs and your Zealots more than anything else. What's this, an observer? Okay. I mean, is it enough? Can he hold? Oh, the lurkers have just not paid for themselves today at all. Some Zerglings desperately coming in, snipe down a summoning in Archon, take down a High Templar, and by golly, Jaedong, okay, he held, but then that High Templar wandered into the natural and killed 5 drones. So we're looking at 41 drones here to 53 probes. They canceled this hatch up here too. Another expansion. Yeah, Jaedong holding that was dead impressive. I'm not going to say no to it, but it's just too much economy. Production tab is just too full of Zealots and High Templar and additional gateways, and the Storm is good against everything that Jaedong is rolling with right now, and he doesn't have Plague, and Dark Swarm's not going to be very good because of this high Zealot count of +3 attack and +1 armor and +1 shields too. Lurkers trying to handle these Archons, but not as great. Hydra's better. Scourge trying to take down an Observer, and they do. Look, the damage output here has been just too much. It's only 38 drones at 19 minutes for Jaedong. He's holding in ways that almost any other Zerg player would not have been able to hold in. But maybe this is why you want Sunkens at your bases. So it's arriving seemingly out of nowhere. And, well... there goes this base, I guess. Jaedong is responding with some Lings and Lurkers, but that's it. He leaves the game. I'm going to assume he threw a GG out over Discord. They were talking, maybe. I don't know. I would hope to believe that. But yeah, man, Stork, almost gosh dang flawless victory. I think the most damage he took was losing his forge and his gateway here. And then this third base got canceled. And other than that, like this base came up pretty well. This base got canceled once and came back fairly strong. Great upgrades, beautiful storms. And largely, Zealots were the backbone here. There just weren't enough lurkers to handle them. Not enough Zerglings in the mix. And the upgrades weren't good enough either, is a big problem here for Jaedong. The upgrades are just sick. Like, this whole 3-1-1 thing that Stork is rolling with is beautiful. No attack upgrades for the Zerglings until very late. I don't think it mattered. And then Plague was never... I don't think Plague even got researched. And if your Protoss opponent is going this heavy on things like Zealots and Dragoons... you need that Plague. You need to drop down their HP count a lot if you're going to win this thing. And, yeah. Nope. It's not going to work out. Oh, incredible. Great match. Great match from Stork. Jaedong held on his valiantest. Valiantest? I don't even know if that makes any sense. Sure, that was a thing. And the Protoss gets the win. So hit that like button if you enjoyed that. If you're a Protoss fan, probably. Hit the like button anyway. Come on, Jaedong played a great match. He did. 136,000 points. 156,000 is not where you want to be, no matter who you are. Kill-death ratio pretty good there for Stork. Structures raised. 3 Protoss buildings died, which is pretty good against what Jaedong was rocking with there. And resources about like 2 even for Jaedong's sake, right? If you're a Zerg player here, you need an advantage in overall income over the course of the game. And that you had a 1,000 resource advantage in minerals mined and a 2,000 advantage in total spent is not good. That is actually really bad. So that is a huge reason for Jaedong to lose this. The attacks into the 4th were damaging. The attacks in the natural were damaging. And I was like, it's so great. He's able to do this without static defense. And maybe that's why you have static defense. It's for that very, very reason that when the Zealots show up, having 2 or 3 Sunkens buffered behind a couple evolution chambers is really worth its weight in gold. 'Cause it is. All right, good stuff. That right there is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you until... wow, I lost it. Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.